Hi guys. So hope everyone is okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be streaming from. Hope everyone is doing fine. Hope it's not too cold and hope it's not too hot. Real quick, I have a question that is bothering me, and I'm like, let me ask you guys, because our own program we do it for people that are wiser than us, people that might have an answer to our questions, people that know more than us. And this is not is not stemming out from um, being biased, It's an open ended question, But I've been something has been bothering me, and I'm like, maybe you guys have a clue, or maybe this can also you guys can also see things in this light, and we could investigate it further. Or if you have answers, let me know. You know, I'm open to your opinions. So I have a question regarding the whole idea of bullying, because we're seeing a lot of these school shootings, you know, and may our my heart goes to the victims of school shootings, and I hope the people that have lost their kids from school shootings, I hope those kids I hope God fills that void that those kids have, those vacuums those kids have caused in the hearts of those parents, and I hope those children um, rest in perfect peace. But I want us to really put more light, more perspective to what led the victim the victim of what led to these shootings. I want us to shed more light to it. Let's just even take that perspective, even if it's for this short period of time. And I want us to see the correlation or the pattern with the political in the political sphere, because we can define invading another country, trying to impose our culture, our standards, our norms to another country. We can somehow call it a form of bullying, especially if we are not doing it in a way that is considering. If we're not being considerate with the the people that we're trying to impose our norms or enforce our culture, our characters into. So, who is the real bully? Because we keep talking about school shootings, right? Which, according to U.S. Secret Service and Department of Education, claims that um, from a study they did that 71% of shooters had experienced bullying, harassment, or intimidation before carrying out their attack. They were one way or one shape or form a victim of bullying before they carried out those mass school shootings. And I'm not condoning, or I'm not encouraging that should be the last result for a kid that felt like he was bullied, because I'm sure there's support systems. If you feel like you're being bullied and you're watching this, please, I don't want this is I'm not advocating, or I'm not supporting that notion to take laws into your own hands. Find the support system, find the mechanism, go talk to your principal, go talk to your teacher, go talk to someone about it, let your parents know about it. But if majority of shooting and violence comes from harassment, intimidation, oppression, what do we expect from countries that are constantly bullied? If one child can decide to take laws into his own hands, what do you expect from a country that feels like they are being invaded, they are being violated one way, shape, or form or the other. Because I'm like, I mean, we're only humans. I feel like this is how people end up having tendencies to shoot up or blow up, not just the person that is bullying them, but also innocent bystanders, you know, or also people that does not have anything to do with the whole thing in the first place. I feel like it's things like this that get that far, you know. So today, I'm trying to see the coronation. I'm trying to understand if there's a correlation between a school bully and a political bully. Because we are trying to um, wage a war against um, school shootings. But if 71% of school shootings is stemming out of those kids being bullied, then maybe what we really need to wage a war on is the school bully or school bullying. So now, they say charity begins at home, good manners begins at home. So it means for a child to be a bully, to decide of all things he can do, of all things he can contribute to his school, is to pick on a scrawny kid, or a kid that is deficient, or a kid that is weak, or a kid that does not have a taste of fashion. You know, if if that's what a child that was born out of a woman, if that's what that child can resort to, then maybe a lot of these things started from the home. Maybe that child has also seen one way or one shape or form where his father is probably bullying his mother or something, or his neighbor's dad is bullying his wife or something. You know. So I want us to ponder this together. Why, since majority of shooting and violence comes from harassment, intimidation, and and etc. etc. So what do we expect from countries that are constantly being bullied? You know, could this be one of the reasons why they sometimes end up having tendencies to shoot up or blow up, not just the person bullying them, but innocent bystanders? So is it fine for one nation to bully another nation, but it's not fine for a kid to bully another kid? It's kind of a double standard, in my opinion. If we have the right to impose our culture and our norms, we feel like the people we're trying to impose our ways of life to, we feel like their ways are primitive, then it's fine for a kid to bully another kid, because at the end of the day, the bottom of a kid bullying another kid is probably trying to teach that kid a lesson of strength, that first of all, the only reason I'm bullying you is because I'm stronger than you. So guess what? A wise child, or a child that can afford it, will go sign up in the gym or will start taking martial art classes. Or maybe a kid that is psychologically bullied, maybe by not getting invited to the cool parties, or by being sidelined because it's not cool enough. If he can afford it, he will change his wardrobe. If it was his mom that was doing shopping for him, he'll be like, "Okay, mom, that's it. I'm gonna start buying my own fit myself, because this fit you're getting for me is making my classmates make fun of me, right?" What about? But I think it's more of a case for the child that cannot even afford the new fit, or that cannot afford to start going to take martial art classes. Maybe because the child have is a has like a is like a sickler, an SS child. Those childs that have sickle cells and they're always sick. That kind of child, there's nothing he can do to break free from those shackles of oppression, of being bullied. You know. So we think it's fine for us to put boots on ground to show force to other countries, then we shouldn't make a big deal out of when our kids are being bullied, because we are showing them that it's okay to impose your standards on somebody else. And guess what? If we see this, if we see all these, if these consequences, if we face these consequences, then we should be able to, we should be able to, how, what's that word I'm looking for? We should be able to own it, you know, because not all kids have the patience, right? After constant bullying, to keep reporting to the school principal or whatever support system is available. Maybe the system available in his own school does not work in the first place. Because if it did, there shouldn't be a reason that same child has to keep going back to report a bully situation. Because from that first bullying, and that child goes to the support system and is known, the school is informed, the next step of actions should not only serve as a reminder to that child that is doing the bullying, it should also serve as a deterrence to any other child that wants to bully, that man, they don't take bullying lightly in our school, you know so it shouldn't be a constant thing. Because if people don't believe in a system, in especially a support system, they start taking laws into their own hands. Same thing goes for nations. Not all nations have the patience to keep reporting invasions or oppressions to UN organizations or UN justice systems like the ICJ. Besides, when they reported, what's it called? When they reported one country that was invading the other sovereign country, what, apart from the Hague, as it is called, the ICJ, I can't. I'm not a lawyer, but apart from them letting it known to the public and trying to show some kind of um, show some kind of what's that word I'm looking for? Try to them trying to serve as a caution. I don't think it's working. Like I said, I'm not the lawyer, okay? So those terms is is a little is not easy to come by like that for me, you know. But you guys get the point I'm saying, right? Like when a country, I don't want to name countries, okay, but when that country invaded and its neighbor, and everybody rallied around them, like they're like, okay, what can we do? They went to the United Nations. The United Nations Secretary General tried to tell the invading, or the, let's say, the bully country, try to tell them that, hey, stop, don't stop doing this, stop doing that. The Apparently the bully country didn't stop. You know, they didn't stop. They, if anything, they even doubled down. They're like, to hell with United Nations. You know, I guess because they had some kind of support. You know, but you get what I'm saying. So when the oppressed kid, when he takes matters into his or her own hands, he or she does not only shoot up the kid that is bullying him or her, he also takes the whole school. He damn near takes the whole school with him. May God keep protecting us from uh, circumstances that is beyond beyond our reach. You know, and from my own intuition, I'm feeling like, you see, when these kids, right, when they say a school shooting happened, and there were multiple victims of the shooting, in my mind I'm always feeling like, you see, those people that, I'm sure there will still also be some innocent people, okay? I'm sure some of the people that were victims of these school shootings, if we investigate it to an extent, usually most of them were complicit to the bully. It might be the friends or the friends of the friends of the bully. That child, right, probably see some correlation with those people. I'm sure there will also be some innocent bystanders, That is will just be unfortunate like that. But that's what I always suspect, Cause me to have experienced, I've 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 experienced I've experienced people being bullied, and it's a bad position to be in. I don't pray that for any child. It's traumatizing, you know. So, real life is not like in the movies where the oppressed kid goes and kill just the kid that bullied him, you know. And I guess that a kid that has made up his mind that in the first place to shoot up one kid obviously is not wise enough to have the self-control to limit his actions to just that one kid, you know. And guys, remember, I'm just playing devil's advocate, okay? Because on a good day, I have pity, empathy, sympathy for the victims of all this tragedy, But and I'm not encouraging or I don't support these school shootings or violence in general, But I'm just saying, let's just even play devil's advocate for one. I remember this is this series of questions. It's not for everybody, okay? I'm asking people that are wiser than me. I'm asking people that are more learned than I am. They should help me shed light. We live in a what do you guys call it? In a digital village or something like that, You don't know my reason. Maybe I don't have friends, you know? Maybe these people, maybe you guys are the only people that I can talk to. Maybe I don't have friends. Maybe I don't have anybody I can ask. Maybe that's why I'm asking my online friends, They should help me shed more light, you know? So I don't want anybody to take offense to this. I don't want anybody to get sensitive. Or I don't want anybody to think I'm insensitive. If you have a answer, please, I stand guided, and I stand corrected, okay? I feel like people are just fine the way they are. Let's leave people the way they are. Let's let people live their life the way they want to live it, And back to these kids, right? This bullied kid. I remember this. There's the reason I'm using these two coronation for the wise people. You guys already see the coronation, right? Because we're always talking about kids being bullied, but we never see nations as entities that can be bullied, But I guess what I'm trying to understand is if we can understand maybe the kids being bullied and the reaction to the kid that is bullied or his final reaction, even if 9 times out of 10, if the police doesn't end up killing him after shooting the school up, he will end up doing time. So 10 times out of 10, his life is wasted. But can we use the resolve of that bullied kid to understand how the psyche of a nation works? Or can we use the responses of these nations to solve the problems of bullying in schools? What can we juggle out of this whole situation is what I'm trying to understand, you know, you know, like some cases of some countries that are being invaded right now. And I don't want to call names, but I believe you know one or two. Usually, if you investigate these nations, most of them have their own shortcomings. They have their own imperfections, So it's kind of convenient to use those things as a measuring stick to and because we are very very smart, we always make it go like we are going there to settle conflict or enlighten them. Then we end up, we're very very subtle, we're very very smart. We end up we end up they give us an inch, we end up taking more than a foot, or is it a feet? you know and we understand that these people, they live in huts, they live in deserts, wearing flip-flops, riding in camel backs, living primitive of some sort. So we use that as a opportunity to like, okay, we can show you guys a more civil way, a more modern way. But a lot of these people, they don't even want all that modernization. They just want to be left alone. Can we figure out a way to still coexist, still do business, still indulge them? Don't say because they're fixated in the way they want to live their life, you know. And well, you see the ones that are open to your innovations, like these ones I can name names because I mentioned their name in good light, like Dubai, like Qatar, like freaking what's it called? Saudi Arabia, they are open to innovations, then work with those ones and leave the ones that wants to be the way they are, that wants to stay covering their face and letting their woman sit in one side of the bus and their man, because they have their religious reasons, you don't want to just come and just, I mean, even if you change their ways, I mean, you will need to learn the art of persuasion, don't just try to, because now it's going to be looking like a bullying situation, you know same thing as a kid that you feel like is not cool enough. Instead of holding him, gripping him by the neck, hey, whatever. I don't know how a bully is, but from what I've seen and from what they show in pictures and motion pictures, like always holding that kid at the neck and like trying to get his lunchbox or something. you know Instead of that, why don't we just, hey, I'm hungry, can you share your meal with me? Be friends with that kid. That kid will still sense your strength, that if it doesn't give you this food lightly, he doesn't want to cross paths with you. Even if you feel like it's in your blood to be a bully, you have to still show some, make it very subtle. Don't make it so known to a point where that kid, the final resolve that kid has is to blow up the school or to shut up the school. Because I feel like, like look at what happened in 9/11. Those people, for them to decide to sacrifice their life, first of all, they feel like, okay, the cause they are going for is more than just is bigger than them. They feel like their nations are being abused. So, and I'm sure there are people that understand geopolitical new history and trends more than I do. But let's just cut to the chase. Or they were gullible enough for people to able to get into their head. And if I'm sure there were things they saw too, to be like, you know what, whatever this religious scholar is telling me is consistent with what I see. How about you prove this? Because usually the people that will tell them to go blow up a plane, those ones that probably wouldn't. Why can't they do the task by themselves? Why do they have to send people to run their dirty errands? You know. But apparently those kids too, they are seeing the things their Islamic or religious scholar is telling them. They're seeing the consistencies when they walk in the road, in the street. They're seeing the subjugation, the oppression, the bullying. You know. So um like I said, I don't want this to be too long. So if anybody has a remark or a comment to what I'm saying, leave it in the comment section, and if you guys can enlighten me, I'll be so happy. You know, I'll be so happy. So the moral of the story is, let's just learn to leave people alone. And if we are going to change them, let's learn the skill sets, the art of persuading. Don't let's try to do everything by force. And thank you guys for indulging me, and I hope everybody have a wonderful rest of their evening. Thank you.